Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we have the performance review on the TESH Sports Terrestrial. This is their low top version. They have 3 models. This is just one of the 3. This also is the most affordable out of the bunch. It also happens to be my favorite, but that's neither here nor there. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, so here's just a quick look at the traction. It's the same exact stuff from heel to forefoot. Not sure exactly what it's called or what it's made after, but the performance of it will definitely depend on the floor's condition. As you may have guessed, clean courts, these things pretty much rock, just like most shoes. No issues found whatsoever. But dusty courts, on the other hand, definitely have a negative effect on these things. Even the smallest amount of dust, you're going to want to keep these guys as clean as possible. I think these would have fared a little bit better against the dust had the pattern itself been peaked rather than flat like this. So as you can see, everything here is flat. There's tons of grooves everywhere, but it's just perfect for dust to stick to it instead of kind of get brushed aside. So if all of these lines would have been peaked or pointed like, say, herringbone, I think that it would have added a bunch more friction between your foot and the floor, which would have helped against dust, at least in my opinion. This definitely is not the worst traction. I've had way worse than this. This does get the job done as long as you frequently wipe. However, I do think that this could have been executed just a bit better. Like I said earlier, if everything wasn't flat and if it was actually peaked, I think it would have just bit the floor just enough to have made a stronger difference than what this is already at. As far as cushioning goes, TESH uses their own type of formula, and it's what they call kinetic lift as well as T-foam. T-foam is a proprietary blend of foam cushion that is specific to TESH Sports, so it's just their models that use this stuff. And again, they implement it in what they call the kinetic lift system. The kinetic lift system is a layered system, so you have a bottom layer that's going to be what they call the explosion layer, and then the layer on top of that is right underneath your foot, and that's the shock absorbing cushioned layer. And then there is a third layer, but it's completely removable, and it is their insole. This is what they call ghost foam, which basically is like ortholite, and this provides you with additional stepping comfort, and this will also mold to your foot a little bit, giving you a custom-like feel. Now what I love about their cushion setup is that, like other foams, it gets the job done and it doesn't get in the way at all. You literally won't notice anything, and that is not a bad thing. The more that you don't notice what's on your feet, the better. If I were to compare it to anything, it actually really reminds me of Peak's branded cushion system, both the Cushion 3 and their dual gradient, because both of those cushion systems do their job perfectly, but they don't do anything to where you're like, oh crap, this is like so bouncy that I feel like I'm gonna explode out the gym. But at the end of the night, you also feel awesome. You're like, holy crap, my knees don't hurt, my back don't hurt. That's pretty cool. So that's what this stuff reminds me of. It reminds me of Peak's footwear, but you don't have to pay like customs charges and stuff to get it over here. So it saves you a little bit of money if you want a similar experience. So basically, in a nutshell, the cushion system on these guys does its job. It absorbs impact while giving you plenty of court feel, and it doesn't get in the way at all, so you don't notice it whatsoever. And I think that it's really cool. I actually really like it, and it's probably my favorite aspect of the shoe and the brand itself. Now the materials aren't anything special. Basically we have a textile upper, textile meaning mesh, and on top of that we have TPU or fuse, which is very thin, and it's placed in strategic areas along the entire upper for additional containment and structural support. It's also placed in high wear areas so that if you toe drag and things like that, it's not going to destroy the shoe. Now despite having so much of the fuse on top of it, the shoe doesn't feel like it. These are very thin layers of fuse, so it moves well with your foot. As you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of fuse, but this stuff right here doesn't bother me whatsoever. This is fuse done right. So if you're looking for something that's durable and affordable, but it doesn't feel like it's made out of plastic, this is the way to go right here. Now as far as fit, I've gone over this before when I gave everybody the first look of the shoes, but all of their models fit extremely big except for this one. This is the only one out of the 3 that fits true to size. So go true to size and you'll be good to go. These are also wide footer friendly, so if you have wide feet, also go true to size, but it's not wide footer friendly to the point to where anybody with a normal or narrow shaped foot would want to go down half a size. So go true to size no matter what your foot shape is, and you should be fine. If you are wide footer friendly though, just keep in mind their other shoes are awesome for that, but other guys, you're going to want to go down half a size in their other 2 models. But I'll get into that more in their performance reviews, which will be coming up later. As far as lockdown, it's pretty much on par with other brands. I mean, there's nothing really to complain about. There's nothing to go over. You lace them up, you're locked in, you're good to go. Midfoot does its job well. The fuse materials that are in there that are overlaid and within the textile keep your foot on the footbed so that they don't stretch and roll over. The way that the back is shaped, it contains and cups your heel perfectly. So as long as you get your true size, you're going to be good to go. Now this is a very small suggestion, and it is kind of a nitpick because I think that complaining about laces is pretty much stupid. However, I would recommend changing these out if you do buy a pair. Not only are the laces that they come with pretty cheap, but they are also extremely long. So when I do have them laced up all the way and I have it double knotted, I mean these lace, the loops that you have, the bunny ears or whatever you call them, they almost go to the floor. And that's not only annoying annoying, but it could be dangerous. You could step on your shoelaces and all that stuff, so definitely change the shoelaces out. Again, I think that nitpicking about shoelaces is pretty dumb just because it's a really simple fix, but it's definitely something to note, especially on these guys. It feels like they just threw in like whatever laces are in there, even though this is a low cut shoe. They definitely did not need to be this long, that's for sure. As far as support, everything's pretty much average. There's nothing in here that's going to overwhelm you, and there's nothing here that's going to underwhelm you, but you are going to be covered no matter what, which I guess you can say you'll be whelmed. In the rear of the shoe, you have a standard TPU heel counter, and then you also have an exaggerated midsole here that cups the heel and keeps you in place during lateral movements, much like the Kobe 9. And again, the overall materials and fit that they use also help in aiding in support as well. You do have this really nice flat base here, so all of your movements are perfectly stable. You're going to be well balanced. You're not going to feel like you're teetering or tottering or anything like that. You're pretty much good to go. And then also aiding in that is this channel right here, and this is what TESH calls the LMT Flex channel. Now what this does is it splits the midsole into two pieces, which you can clearly see, and in doing so, when you move laterally, stop, shift back over, slide, whatever it might be, whether you're doing defensive slides or you're crossing somebody over, the way that this shoe is built, it's going to be moving with you, so it's not going to feel like a clunky or blocky midsole underfoot, which is basically what all midsoles are. The more flexible they are, the more comfortable they are, the quicker that you are, the better your first step. And that's what that whole channel is there for. It's supposed to do that. It's kind of like a ninja shoe in a sense, just because it's literally split down the middle. So instead of just having that free like big toe and then the rest of your toes there like ninja shoes, it's doing that same concept throughout the entire midsole. So again, any direction that you're going, this offers premium mobility, and much like the cushion, you almost don't even notice it, which is fantastic. The only thing that you do notice is that sometimes you're going to be slipping due to the traction, and that's literally their only negative. So as you guys know, TESH Sports is definitely new to the scene. They are a local Bay Area company. Local to me, if you're in the Bay Area, then they're local to you as well. However, their footwear is surprisingly good, especially given their price point. This one right here retails for $69.99, which isn't bad. That pretty much takes care of it. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. If you wanted more information, a little bit more detail, including their performance scores, all you got to do is click the link in the description box below. It's going to bring you over to WearTesters.com directly to this shoe's performance review page. Make sure to hit that like button as well. And until next time, guys, have a good one.